All right, we're here. We're started.
We're here.
Yeah, we out here.
Welcome to Toy With Me Market Days 2024. Here we have Phobos ONYX. I'm your host. You know, enough about me. Who do I have next to me? Introduce yourself.
You have Cariño Blaze Onyx, your brother.
And I'm the virgin. I'm the virgin.
Oh, yeah. So
We remember legendary ONYX, ONYX Midwest,
the
Vice
legendary
President.
version of Onyx. Yes, of course.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna talk about cruising today. For those of y'all that are cruising on by, we're gonna tell y'all what cruising is. Who wants to start? You
Some
want
of
to hear
y'all
from me?
probably cruising right now, actually.
I mean, you know, I'm a little new to cruising, so can we get a definition from you?
Well, cruising for me is, just looking for sex actively, or looking for a hookup, or looking for someone to connect with.
Okay, is it
And
always
that
a
could even
hookup
be-
deal?
It doesn't always have to be a hookup,
Okay.
but it might happen anyway. Okay.
So cruising can be anything. Cruising can be you looking for a hookup, you're looking for a short-term goal relationship, long-term goal relationship. You're looking. In short, you're looking. I'm looking right now, and I'll see some of y'all. But
See y'all
cruising,
passing by.
a lot of us do it and don't know that we do it. So how long would you say that you've been a part of like the cruising culture?
Cruising culture, I think I really dived into cruising culture like early on because I was middle of nowhere, Arizona. So there wasn't much to do. So I had to go to parks or I had to go to, different places to look for sex because a lot of people weren't out. So
yeah.
for me, I learned about cruising more from early on the internet,
Okay.
seeing the internet grow, seeing Grindr like just pop up out of nowhere. And not only that, just finding out about bookstores and park cruising and Steamworks and other bathhouses that exist and bookstores. Yeah, everything.
I got a question for you. When you said you dive right into cruising, what do you mean? Like you went one night, then went the next night, next thing you know, you went a week, or did you dive right in and just multiple partners one night? How did you dive in?
Well, I think for me, diving into cruising, what I really mean is that was just something, the only way that I kind of found sex for a little while.
Okay.
And that was because there wasn't really clubs or anything where I lived to do that. You kind of had to go out into, the parks, restrooms, and the duck truck stops and tapping the foot. And maybe some glory holes were there. Learning about those different signals, going online and finding out, how do I signal someone to put their dick through this hole at this glory hole,
So
That
you
person.
didn't just order one item off the menu. You ordered, a sampler platter.
Exactly.
For your first time
Sample
cruising.
platter,
Okay.
a
That's how you
sample
found out-
sausage platter.
That's how you found out what you like.
A charcuterie board. That's sex. That's
There you go.
what I.
There you go. How about you, legendary?
So for me, it's been a couple of years. And so
You said a couple of years?
a couple of years.
What's a couple of years? That could be 2 years. That could be
20 years.
15 years. People say
At least, oh Jesus, at least 21 years.
21 years of cruising.
So
Yeah, a
like,
couple of decades. Yeah.
You should be pregnant by now.
I might have got somebody pregnant, but that's neither here nor there. So like for me, it was by accident. So
Okay.
the situation where like, I understand you shake somebody in and they.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. I wasn't cruising at the time, but you take the finger and you like tickle the middle of that palm.
I don't like
That
that.
happened to me a couple of times.
Bitch, we about the same age.
I know, but I wasn't cruising at the time. You talking about 21 years.
I'm talking about like early college, even in high school. I had people.
I
doing
wasn't
that,
in high school.
and they were older than me, so I didn't know. And that was back before I knew for real. I like God.
What?
It was just like, oh, he's handsome. Let me tickle his palm.
Yeah.
Now, there have been some moments where I didn't mean to do things, and it just happened.
That happens to everybody. Don't feel alone in that. Like with consent, right?
I mean, I'll wait to tell my story later.
Okay, let's put a bookmark on that. I do have a question though. You know how there's in-person cruising, and we'll talk about those options, but there's also online cruising. Like, there's the apps. I'm not going to mention them, but, well, we're going to mention them anyway. So when you first started cruising, what apps were out? When I first heard about cruising, it was like A for A.
When I first started cruising, there weren't apps. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, excuse me.
Actually, and then from what I remember, some of the cruising used to be you put an ad in a little booklet or a newspaper or something, personal ads saying, hey, I'm doing this stuff. I wasn't old enough to do that, and I didn't want to pay a newspaper for the, by the letter, but those were things that I saw. And then I think early on, before there was all the apps, there's Craigslist and those sort of things. Or Adam for Adam, or like actual websites.
You said you've been cruising since before there were apps. With you, was it the same answer like before there were apps like that? Men for Now, A for A, back in the day?
MySpace.
Okay. So before there were real apps, before there was, Scruff and all that stuff.
I mean, there was also moments where...
Me personally, I heard about cruising, but I didn't start taking part until, I think it was like Grindr first came out, and that's still ancient at this point. So that was like my first... I heard of Adam for Adam, but I didn't take it serious. I didn't meet nobody. But I did start meeting people on Grindr. So,
yeah, I mean, early on when I started cruising, at least online, that was websites that don't really exist now, like Manhunt. That's an old website that some people don't remember. There's Adam for Adam is still around, and actually it's trying to push forward because they have stories of their own now. They have their own feed now as well. So anytime someone uploads a new photo, it's added to this public feed, and anytime someone wants to just share a little story, they can do that now on Adam for Adam. So they're trying to push it forward, and they like doing stuff that Grindr was doing before Grindr was around.
Maybe I'll take a blast from the past and I'll check them out. But we talked about the online, there are apps, apps now, but there's sites, in the days of Men for Now, A for A. But
I mean, Yahoo chat rooms, actually.
And then there's Craigslist. Remember those misconnections, stuff like that.
I'm really aging myself right now.
I am too.
I know I look young. I'm a young little puppy, but that's something, that I have done for a while. So
now let's take a short break and get into something very important. Getting tested is so important. Whether you play a little or you play a lot, you should never play with your health, especially when there are so many resources like those provided by Project Vita and those free at-home testing kits. Getting tested is as easy as 1, 2, 3. With at-home testing brought to you in collaboration with Sinai Chicago, all you have to do is scan the QR code or go to the URL on your screen and sign up to receive your free HIV testing kit directly to your house. Once you take the test, call the number provided to tell them the results, and this fun little toy box will be on its way to you. Just that easy. Brought to you by the Test, Play, Repeat campaign here at Project Vita. One more time, Test, Play, Repeat. Now let's get back to the show.
Now, we talked about what's online. Let's talk about in person. I know I haven't been to, I know there's the bars, there's parks, there's stalls in certain establishments. I don't want to out them like that, but
I'll out them. There's Macy's bathrooms, there's Sears bathrooms, there's Home Depot bathrooms. People be fucking everywhere. Okay?
There's the airport.
Okay. There's the airport. That's what I was picturing when I was saying stalls.
Truck stops. There's the train stations even. Okay.
There's adult bookstores that have, adult back rooms.
Forget that one. There's the college bathroom.
Yes,
Really?
the college
Which
bathroom.
one?
That's actually where I kind of started cruising even more as soon as I got to college.
There's a sauna at Exports off of State Street.
Not you giving actual.
One of the LA Fitnesses too, right? I don't know. I just be hearing.
How about, I remember back in Hyde Park Valley.
Oh,
That's how I met this one preacher. Well, I ain't gonna tell you.
oh, for the spill all the tea. You just gonna knock that bucket of tea right over. Okay.
Be praising Jesus on Sunday and then on Saturday trying to get his cheeks clapped.
Get your cheese clapped and pray for forgiveness later, right?
And did you oblige? I'm being nosed now, but since you spilled the tea,
I cannot this thing. I didn't sign no NDA, but
But you can love you.
he knows I taste good.
okay.
He knows I taste good.
Oh, okay. Well, enough said.
I mean,
Now about
the two.
in person. I know y'all cruise in person. I'm gonna start with myself this time, cause it's short. When the first time I cruised was in person at a bar with a back room. Is it the same for y'all? If not, what was the difference? Like a park, a stall, what was it?
The first time for me, I was cruising in a public bathroom, learning about the signals. There's different signals out there. There's signals that have made the news because some senators have done it at airports. But there are signals when cruising where you could do the tap of the foot or get your foot closer to someone in the stall. Sometimes there might be a glory hole. When I was going to college, there was glory holes at my college that were uncovered from the 70s, actually. Okay. So there was a resurgence in glory holes when I was going to college. And a lot of people would hang around those. Okay. And sometimes even just a little peephole, actually.
What area was this? What state?
Oh, this was in Arizona.
Okay.
It was very
picture Chicago, and I'm like,
yeah, you know, it's mostly private glory hole, too.
Exactly. Now, how about you? Your first in-person cruise place, was it at a bar, back room possibly? Was it somewhere else?
It depends on what stage in life.
No, your first
time ever.
My very first time, it wasn't on purpose, though.
And you know what? With that being said, I'm going to put a pause on my story because I take back my first experience. But go ahead.
So the not on purpose was, I was at school. I won't say the school, but I was walking in the atrium and somebody came up to me, was like, "You're very handsome." I was like, "Okay." And then I kept moving. He's like, wait. Can I talk to you? Okay. And I was like, okay, what you want to talk about? I could sell you. I can't give you my bookstore discount because I used to work in the bookstore. And he was like, no, can I get your number? And I was like, what you need my number for?
So you were very counting the signals were going above your head.
The shield was up at full force.
I am blind. Don't let this dark skin fool you. I am blind. This is the tan sometimes.
So what happened is y'all end up linking up?
I may or may not have been at their house when their mama was on their way home.
Oh, well, on their way home.
Okay. Now, what I meant when I said my first cruising experience was at a bar, back room, it wasn't. It was actually when I was in high school and I was working at a retail store, and there was some guy that kept coming up to my register, and I could feel his eyes from the registers over at customer service, whatever, just piercing me, and he kept looking at me, and I'm like, okay. He finally came up to me and said something, came through my line. He ended up getting my number, talking about, what kind of music you listen to? Oh, let me get a CD. I'm like, okay. That was my first cruise experience, but it was not on purpose. I was like 18 and gonna find out he was a little bit older, but I still got cruised.
I mean, I think that's one thing that's interesting about cruising spots is that there's people from all ages that cruise, actually. There's people that are older that have been going to those spots for a while, and then there's people that are barely finding out about it.
Yeah.
Going. And then now with things like Sniffies or Squirt or other websites where they tell you about where cruising locations are, that people are now even being exposed. Oh, I didn't know that restroom was really cruisy at that location. Or I didn't know the park right by me was, people doing stuff at night. That sort of stuff. So.
Like, I didn't know that, of all the shenanigans that be happening at the park. I had no clue because I usually leave before it gets dark. And, okay, so let's talk about safety and, while you're cruising.
Before you go there,
okay,
you reminded me of a story. So the very first time I used the glory hole.
Oh, wait a minute. Which side?
I was the one giving gifts.
Okay. I mean, gifts could be a different, what kind of gift?
Giving my nectar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, your honey, as Miranda.
Okay. So I had never used the glory hole. I only saw it in the movies and on the apps and stuff. And so I did not know proper etiquette. So after I released my juices, I thought, hey, this guy might want to watch another video. So I gave him $1 so he could get more tokens. I didn't know no better.
So he took that as you paying him for his services?
I don't know. I walked away really fast because I was like,
so he took your tip and you left it.
I thought, hey, you did a good job. Maybe you want to watch some more tokens.
He thought you were tipping him. Oh my goodness. So you out there. That wasn't what it was. It was for another video.
I was trying to.
He wanted a part 2.
I wanted to be nice, so I figured after you left me, you might wanted to watch some more videos.
I mean, he might want to get off. If he didn't, you know.
You know what? I didn't know there was an etiquette to like glory holes specifically.
There's
I've never been to
a
one.
little bit of an etiquette, at least when it's public, because there's ways to kind of signal if you're looking to do it, and then there's signals for you if you want to either receive or give. So usually, if you want to put like a finger on the hole of the glory hole, that'll usually put a finger or two on the hole of the glory hole, or even just a little come hither kind of movement. Or if you're really bold, you could just put your mouth close to it.
Your tongue out.
Some people, if they're not like looking, but they're kind of curious, they might even just peek through, be like, oh, I'll see you.
Okay.
And then there's other things that, sometimes someone might just shove it through, so it just depends on how bold that you want to be. But just be careful. It leads to safety like you're talking about. You can't just go to a glory hole that's public and shove your dick through, someone might slap it away or punch it or something, you never know.
And you think they're being rude, but they thought you were being rude, so they swatted you away. I get it. And that could lead to safety issues. So let's talk about safety. Let's start with physical safety. When you meet up with someone, you don't just, I'm not going to say you don't just, would you invite someone to your house to cruise first time meeting them?
I usually prefer to host, but that's because as someone that's more bottom wise and that sort of stuff, sometimes the commute for a bottom is like, well, I might as well get ready while you're on the way, and that cuts it in half. Or else, if I am cruising though, then I'm out and about and I'm trying to do it there at that location. I'm not trying to go back home, that sort of stuff. But if I'm cruising on the apps, or if I'm cruising like nowadays where you can do it online, there's still a talk that you have to have. There's still a little bit of back and forth. It's not just like, hey, here's my location. I mean, maybe if the pictures are really good, I don't know. I may have done them 27 times. I don't know. But like, that's something that you have to kind of deal with yourself. Or if you have some friends, like I have some friends, I have my big brother actually, that if we doing some stuff, I'm like, hey, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. One, it's low-key bragging, but also two, it's sharing the experience. And he's like, you better get it, girl. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get it. Over there right now in the audience waving his hand. He's like, yeah. It's good to have a buddy system if you're cruising too. Okay. Like friends that are in the know. Some of them, if they start to being judgmental or something like that, obviously that's not somebody you want to just like be like, okay, well, boundaries wise, clearly you just want to dog this, but it's just, if you have someone that you could tell that hey, I'm about to do this for the first time, or so-and-so is going to come over or something like that, a little bit, someone can check up on
or share your location indefinitely with somebody.
Yeah.
Because you never know. It might be spur of the moment that person has to pick up the phone, or they might not have read the text to know, like, hey, this is what's going on just yet. But, they can always see your location. They'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
But with me, it's like, I'm hesitant to invite somebody over I haven't met. I like to get the vibe from the person at least, and even then I could be wrong. But at least give me, I like to give the benefit of the doubt, but in person at least first. Now, how about you?
So, like Cariño was saying, me and my roommate, one of the things that I do is so that the person I'm with don't know what I'm texting, we text WML, watch my location.
Okay.
Another thing that I do is I don't text this motherfucker. So I'll text them and say, if I text you by a certain time, I need you to call me and make something up.
I like that. I like that.
But another reason is because I've had health issues, why I make sure that someone knows where I'm at all times. Another thing is I make sure I know the surroundings. So like, I'll be at their house and they won't notice that I noticed something out of the ordinary there. So I'll be like, oh, you have a nice family. Or,
Oh, you look for like personal effects in the house to make it seem like, you know, I would do the same thing. That makes sense, because if you have your family around or if pictures with you and your family, it's like, okay. But if you have an Airbnb looking place and you have nothing that's personal, you know, my imagination runs wild. So I get to.
well, I'm also doing it in the case of, God forbid, they kidnap me.
Yeah, and it's easier when you're in their house.
So if I know something and I have to report what happened to the police, see, my problem
Oh,
is,
you're taking notes.
Oh, you thinking like super into it.
yeah.
But that's still a good thing.
But I also used to watch Snap for fun.
Yeah.
So just in case I gotta go in MacGyver mode and make some shit happen.
Oh, my God.
Oh baby, I gotta be ready.
So you talked about cruising at your house. You talked about cruising at their house. Now, is there a preference, like in general, flatline? You just know, you don't know the person, you meet them for the first time. It's either your house or theirs. Which one would you prefer?
I mean, I think for me, there is a safety in the place that I've created for myself as my house.
So you say your house.
So I say my house. However, there's still conversations that are happening in the apps and everything, you know, kind of getting a feel for if the vibe is going to even be right. If someone starts getting a little bit like fishy when you're talking and all this other stuff, then it's like, okay, well, it's done.
Or they call it off.
If someone even is like, oh yeah, let's do this later, and then they want your location where it is like now, it's like, I'll let you know when I'm home. You know, like I ain't about to give out my location if I'm not even home.
Exactly.
Is someone gonna try to like find it? Luckily, since I'm in an apartment, I could just give like an apartment blanket thing. They don't know which unit, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of variables that come into play. Man, okay, we could talk about this all night, but yeah, there are differences where you live. If you have a doorman, stop people from coming upstairs. If you got elevators, if you have an apartment number, a condo number, whatever, they don't know exactly where you are, even though if they are, lack of better words, crazy enough, they could be waiting outside, but at the same time, it's better to have in a house where they can get up to your front door and that's it. With you, which one would you prefer?
So personally, I prefer I go to them, and that's only because I live with two other people.
Okay.
And I've had somebody come over and he thought, oh, it's a party. I can have all three of them.
Oh, no.
Okay. And I have to say, nope. You go upstairs, you don't come downstairs.
These are two totally different aspects. Like, it's like you're talking about from long and with. Okay. Time for a reminder. You can revisit old broadcasts, suggest future topics, and be one click away from signing up to get a free test kit and toy box on our landing page, projectvita.org/toy-with-me. No spaces. Speaking of the toy box, check out this video from Sinai Chicago.
Hey, Michelle, what are you doing tonight?
Hey Eric, Project Vita is doing the Toy With Me party on Zoom.
Nice. What's that all about?
They focused on different sex-positive topics, and they're going to be offering free home HIV testing kits through Sinai Infectious Disease Center.
HIV home test kits. How does that work?
So they're going to share a link in the chat where you can sign up to get your home test kit.
Okay, I've been wanting to get tested, but I didn't really want to leave the house.
I feel you. You just give them your contact info, and someone from Sinai will contact you to send out your free home HIV testing kits. They'll put it in an unmarked box to your mailbox.
Okay, then I do the test by myself? It sounds kind of difficult.
It's not that hard. Once you get the test kit, it's pretty easy. Just follow the step-by-step directions, and you'll get your results in about 20 minutes. Let Sinai know that you took the test and what your results were, and you can even call them and they'll walk you through it. Sinai will then contact Project Vita to let them know that you took the test, and they'll send you out a complimentary gift bag.
Can they also help me access PrEP and any other sexual health needs?
Yeah, of course. Sinai partner up with Project Vita to provide sexual health education, prevention tools, and medical treatment to the community. And they have lots of services too.
Sounds awesome. I definitely want to go and get tested at home, and I'll do the Toy With Me party too.
Now, let's talk about cruising like at the bar, the back rooms. I know there's a clothing check, but sometimes you keep things on you. You know, if you want to get another drink, you might have your ID, maybe not an ID, a card, some cash, your keys. You know, if your stuff get lost, I want to be able to get home. That's my personal thing. I keep those things on me. I'm getting home. I don't care about the jacket, whatever. But anyway, people steal everywhere. So how do you keep your stuff like by you, your personal effects that you have to keep with you or feel like the stuff that I mentioned? Do you have like a bag? Do you?
So if I'm out like in a public cruising space, I'll usually have stuff in my pockets, you know, like stuff that's like really close to me. Or I just don't take certain things with me. I take the things that I need to get into the place.
Okay.
But I'll leave some other stuff, you know, like in my car, that sort of stuff. Like maybe I only take just my fob for my car or something, not my whole keys or something like that. Like there's just stuff that you have to. Sometimes I have a handkerchief that has a zipper in it for Mr. S that I could keep all my stuff in if I'm at a bar or something like that. And that's close to my neck, and it's like, well, why are you trying to unzip my neck? You know, I'm right there. I can hold your hand and be like, stop it. You know, spray some water on it, you know, that sort of thing.
What about you? Do you just check all your stuff in, or do you have personal stuff on you? And where do you keep it?
So it depends on what I have.
Okay.
So like, when it comes to like my vest, if I'm in a cruising spot and it's my Onyx vest, I flip it inside out, and my Onyx vest has pockets, and so I put the things in my pocket. If I'm not if I don't have my vest on, normally, because I lose stuff, Voodoo makes me a pouch.
Like a fanny pack, or just like, I need to get one of those. As much as I laugh at people wearing,
I mean, I had a fanny pack for one of our bar nights, and I was like, actually,
no, I was laughing at you, but I need one.
I mean, I got one right now.
We want a fanny pack with poppers, lube, and condoms, you know?
But I have different. The other thing is I have a bar wallet. I'm in a bar phone case, so that it has the major card I'm going to use and my ID that slips in the back of it.
Okay.
And so,
And you keep that in your vest?
if I'm wearing shorts, I make sure I have a jock on underneath the shorts. And so in the band is where I got my little Hassan.
Oh yeah, sometimes I keep stuff in my waistband if I can't carry stuff. Sometimes I have these long socks, so I'll put them like my phone or something like that in my socks so that it's just staying in there. And
I can't do the waistband because I won't feel it if it falls.
Yeah, just like
all this going on right here is
like that, and it's close to you, and then you don't drop it.
Yeah, I like that idea. I got some long socks. I need to go ahead and do that. I brought this up because I have a story time.
Oh, story time.
I was in the back of a bar, and I was minding my business with somebody, entertaining a new friend, and I took off this very hat, my gloves, and my shirt. So I'm back there with these suspenders chilling, entertaining somebody. And all of a sudden they turn the lights on, it was time to clear out. I'm like, okay. So I look for my hat and stuff. I'm like, where is it? It's gone. So I went to the front, and I was kind of crude about it. I was like, where's the dude that was pulling his stuff out and didn't nobody want it? And then one of my friends was like, oh, he right there. I was like, great, because I think he stole my stuff. So I went up to him. I was like, yes, I'm only asking you this because you were sitting next to me while I was minding our business. Have you seen my shirt and my hat and my glove? He looked at me. He took out his bag. He pulled out my shirt. I snatched it from him. I was like, I should beat your ass. Where's my hat? So I reached in his bag. I just pulled it from him, saw my hat, and the bouncer came over there and kicked him out. I was like, I should beat the fuck out of you. I mean, excuse my French. I should beat your ass. And it was what it was. But it really pissed me off. So, and I got it back, as you can see. But people steal. People will steal, and I've been warned about it. And I got caught off guard. So I'm warning y'all. If you're going out there cruising, you're in these back roads, I wouldn't say check your stuff in because I'm not going to be held responsible for you checking your stuff in. But keep it close to you. As much as I don't want a fanny pack, I'm going to have to get one. That taught me a valuable lesson.
Wow.
So, I ain't going to say what gentleman establishment I was at, but I ain't going to say what fly brother I had, but we was taking turns watching each other back.
Oh.
So, like, somebody go down, the other one is watching while they doing they.
Well, I mean, that's one thing that I do like about some cruising is that there are people that are looking at, like if you're cruising in a park, cruising in other places, sometimes there might be people that you're like, oh, I'm not into them, but it's also a community in a way where, yeah, you might not be into these other people cruising, but they might want to watch the show a little bit, and then they'll be looking out and kind of signal you, oh, someone's coming, we should stop, that sort of thing.
I'm one of those people. They get into the groove.
Whether it's an actual friend or it's just someone that's also cruising. Look out for each other.
Yeah.
And don't let people steal other people's things, like physical things or even steal things like poppers or like, all things that, you can replace those, but sometimes,
And then the new friend that I was entertaining when I got my little stuff stolen and I got back, he jumped up and he was like, where's my wallet? And I was like, well, where's my stuff? I looked down, his wallet was there. That could have been his wallet that was taken. That could have been my wallet. Well, no, it wasn't my wallet. I had on jeans, my wallet in my pocket, okay, with my keys. I'm getting home. I am not about to lose my keys in my wallet, period.
And I think one last thing when we're talking about safety is this, how we're protecting ourselves in general. So like taking PrEP, taking DoxyPep, and getting tested regularly.
I was just about to say
that you're talking, even if you are in a cruising location, it's okay. It's not a mood killer sometimes. Sometimes it might be, but it's more important to talk about status and that sort of stuff. Just be honest with people. And even if you're saying, oh yeah, I'm on PrEP or I'm taking DoxyPep, that sort of stuff, and even educating people how they can protect themselves if they don't know about PrEP or DoxyPep or that sort of thing.
And there's so many levels that we need to protect ourselves. Cruising, physically, health-wise, and we can talk about mental health too. If you feel like you're taking on too many partners, slow down. Don't feel pressured. If you don't feel it that night, get out of that situation, tell them no. If you don't want to go as far as from point B to C, let them know. It's all about you too.
Yeah, you got to know that other than sexual health, your mental health affects your sexual health. So don't push yourself into a situation, even if you went out to go cruising, but then you're starting to feel a certain way. Don't go further into it. You could stop. You could reevaluate. You can change your own consent anytime during cruising.
Yeah. Don't let nobody influence you to cruise if you don't want to cruise.
And I would also say you gotta have tough skin, because if there's somebody you find real attractive and they see you, then they spin the block on you. You gotta be okay with it.
You do. That's the part of cruising too. Let's bring that back again. I really like what you said. Rejection, the possibility of rejection. That is also a thing about cruising. Just because someone doesn't want you, maybe they're not feeling whatever you got to offer that night, because that is the hanky code. If you're serving, hey, I got navy blue to the right, maybe they're flagging light blue to the left that night. Anything. Don't take it personal. It is what it is. Because if it's someone you're just meeting and they reject you, they don't even know you. So they don't even know what they're rejecting. So that's how I feel about, mental health and cruising, because rejecting is a part of it. And sure enough, if there's someone you want to reject, you let them know. Don't be a, B word about it, or an A word about it. It is what it is. Let's just be grown.
But that's one thing with cruising is you got to make sure that you're just direct with someone. If you don't want someone doing something, if they're touching you already without your consent, you don't want that, it's okay to push their hand away. It's okay to shake your head at them. It's okay to just give signals saying, I'm not into this, and then just move on to the next person. Or maybe it could be a group of people, and you all kind of just look at someone, give a collective head shake, and kind of move on. There's polite ways to reject people as well, even in the cruising culture. Yep.
Moving on. Like you said,
things like hanky code and all that sort of stuff, that's definitely something we could talk about. So anything if you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to leave in the chat, we'll pick up this conversation as well. We can elaborate stuff that we're being talked about today.
I got one more question for y'all. I don't know how much time we got left, but I feel like we're probably wrapping it up. Okay. What is some advice that you would give someone that is thinking about cruising, or they could have been cruising for years? They've been doing it one type of way, but what is something that they might not have seen or thought about or looked at? I would start. If you're cruising, I would give you advice to have a wing person with you. That's helped me a lot, because what if I have one too many drinks and I'm besides myself and I'm doing something I normally wouldn't do? I need that person there to tap me on the shoulder and be like, and then I can think about it and be like, oh no, I'm good, thank you. I'll be back.
Yeah, for me, I personally like to cruise alone. Even if I do have some of my friends around, I'm like, you don't know me here right now. Okay, I'm about to do some things that you're gonna be like, who that? And I'll be like, keep that mindset. Who am I? I don't know. I don't even know who I am right there. Okay, but one thing that I do like about like just keeping in mind when cruising to give someone a tip is don't take everything seriously, because when you're out cruising, either at Steamworks, at bookstores, at back bars, at the woods or whatever, you know people are looking for the same thing. But if one person doesn't want you, like you being a little bit aggressive about it isn't going to change it. If anything, it's going to push someone farther away. So if someone says no to you, just accept the no, move on. And don't take it too seriously, because sometimes someone might see you somewhere else. Someone might even see you outside of cruising, and then they enjoy what you have to say and they want to be around you, but they don't want to have sex with you. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay to like be out in a cruising place.
We all have to accept that, because that's possible. I've been through that.
And then say, you know what? Yeah, we don't have to do that together, but
Yeah, I've been there.
still.
I've been there a few times. I'm horny as hell. I'm just looking at, giving them the F me eyes, like, they talking and I'm not even listening. I'm just, next thing I know, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and go home. I'm like, what? You going to go home?
Well, yeah, because they're like, why you looking at you
need
like
some
that?
kind of
bro?
release first?
I know you want to be inside me,
Can
but
I
I
go
don't.
with you? Hell, got me hot and bothered. But what's some advice that you get?
So this might sound really stupid, but be prepared for the elements.
What you mean, like the weather? That's not stupid. You for real? Because you show up in a whole leather coat from head to toe, fur coat, and then you get up in there and it's hot. You better be ready to check that coat in twice, because you got so much.
Also,
I'm
if it's
thinking
been
about-
rainy. Bring some bug spray. Like if it's rainy.
Well, actually, that's where I was getting ready to go. So if you in a Park of Jackson, or I ain't gonna say where that is, but if you're at the Park of Jackson,
Oh, I know where it is.
and you know the bugs are ignis, get some awesome skin so tastic, the old school Avon lady. Get what you need to, so you don't be ate up by the bugs. Another thing is just having tough skin, making sure that you're okay when people say no, and making sure that you know that no is no for you. And so if somebody trying to approach you and it's a hell motherfucking no, you better not touch me, don't even look my way. I tell people all the time, yes, my body is beautiful, but I am a mannequin. You can't touch me. I'm a high-class mannequin from Neiman Marcus, so don't even touch me. But you gotta be real, because sometimes I smile and people think I want them, and motherfucker, I don't want you. I give them the Mary Sanders stiff wine.
I think there's something also like sometimes people might say no at first, and then if they see you putting on a show a little bit and they see your skills, that might turn into a yes. Okay. So sometimes the rejection isn't always it's not always like that's it. It could be like maybe they needed to see if you could prove that you could handle them.
You
Or
bring up a
maybe
really good
They
point.
want to see if they want to handle you.
But see, the problem for me, have you ever seen Don't Be a Menace to South Jenkins?
Yeah. What part?
So I'm the little church girl in the van in the post office, where she was all nice and prim and backward. Yeah.
Oh, no, you talking about Scary Movie too.
No,
Was she sitting on these walls?
no, she was in.
It was a part one of that?
It was Don't Be Menace to South Central.
I gotta go back and watch that again, because I remember Brenda when she was on Scary Movie 2. When shit wasn't Brenda. It was part of her mouth to his mouth.
Yep. It was actually Focus, baby, Focus. focus, baby, focus. You could cruise like you gotta love your brothers. You gotta love your brothers.
Boy, they out today. They out here market days. If you're not in market days, you need to be on your way because
Listen, my number is, I got a QR code. You can have it.
they out here today. Okay,
All right. And then you can have it.
If y'all have enjoyed this conversation, we also offer, if you're watching the show, free at-home HIV testing.
Don't forget about that box.
And you get a toy box just for doing a test as well.
and my
So it's a toy box that's worth about 200 or some.
Listen, I gave a whole bunch of toys away.
All that sort of, just for knowing your status.
I got some new friends from the toy box.
Oh,
I gave them some toys from the toy box.
I think that's it.
yeah. Well, thank you all for checking out this Frigic Market Days. We hope you have fun. Go out, be safe, and have fun, whether that be with PrEP, DoxyBep, condoms. We got some free condoms over here for you. Be safe even if you're out there partying. We got fentanyl tested studies here. We have Zarcan. So, yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. See y'all next time.
Welcome to Toy With Me. My name is Jerome Montgomery, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Director of Project Vita. Toy With Me is our monthly live and live streaming event where we discuss and explore ways of creating a spicier, safer sexual experience through education on the use of adult toys, as well as an exploration of kink and fetish. Here at Toy With Me, we promote sex positivity and embrace all gender-loving communities. Toy With Me events are sponsored and produced by Project Vita, a nonprofit organization located on the southwest side of Chicago, where we provide a host of low-cost or free services to the community, including behavioral health services, case management services, food pantry services, acupuncture and massage, as well as rental and utility assistance. Once again, we would like to show you how grateful we are by joining us tonight. We encourage you or welcome you to just sit back and enjoy, or join us in the conversation by dropping your questions or comments into the chat, and one of the individuals on screen will be happy to answer your questions.
I'm Cariño Blaze ONYX of ONYX Midwest. ONYX was founded in 1995 to bridge men of color to the leather community through education and fraternization. With 10 chapters nationwide, the Midwest chapter serves Chicago, St. Louis, Milwaukee, Des Moines, and other cities in the Midwest. You can visit onyxmidwest.com to learn more. We're proud to partner with Project Vita for Toy With Me, bringing Kink 101 topics to our community, and we hope you enjoy the show. Thanks!